Hey everyone, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. This video is going to be a random inspection on this hive number 9. I was down here looking around while I was doing a Tiny Swarm Tuesday video, and this hive here, activity in the front seems a little bit low, so I want to check on them, make sure everything's going okay. Last time I was in here was June 21st, it said. Today is July 27th, I believe. So we're going to check this out and make sure everything's okay in here. And if it is, we'll just leave them alone. If there's something we need to correct, we'll see what we need to do. So let's get going on this hive right here. So just kind of show you what I was talking about here. You can see there's the front entrance. Most of the hives have pretty good activity going on. This one here is, I'd say, the lightest of all 20 whatever hives I got going on, so that's why I'm a little concerned. Might be something weird going on in there. Okay, I'm not going to smoke these bees because I don't think there's enough in here to need smoking. We got good activity going on up here. So we do have one honey super on here. But from my notes, I reduced the frames in this honey super, frames that were drawn, down to 5 because they weren't doing much with it. There's a lot of bees up here in the top. Not sure why there's not much going on out front. It's a hive beetle. Gotta get these little suckers without smashing bees. It's kind of hard. There. So took out 4 or 5 of them there. So these 4 frames here have drawn comb for them to put nectar in. But with the looks of their population from the entrance, I don't expect to see a whole lot. This is about 3/4 full, but it's none of it's capped. So you can kind of see the shiny. That's nectar from flowers, clover, whatever that's around here. So I want to pull this honey super off and set it aside. So they've been working a little bit on that, but they haven't drawn out any of these new ones. And I've got a queen excluder on here, so when I lift this up, I want to be sure and get that excluder. There, see the excluder on the bottom there, that metal piece? That keeps the queen out. If that queen goes up there and finds a bunch of open comb, she'll start laying eggs in it. So I see a good healthy population of bees here. I don't see anything to be concerned about. They may be a little bit honey bound, so let's check it out. I am going to light my smoker because I'm finding a lot more bees than what I anticipated. Okay, I'm just going to drift some smoke right across the top there. So any bees that are up here staring at me will go the other way. I'm hoping I find brood right in here. If I don't, these are likely honey bound. It's a little late in the year for them to be swarming, but they can swarm. But they won't typically swarm when there's not a lot of nectar flow coming in, and we're in a dearth right now. So this is totally full of nectar, uncapped, and that's got some in it. That's a complete honey frame on both sides. That's a complete honey frame, but it's not all drawn out because the one right next to it is a really thick one. And what I've learned is when you checkerboard your frames, if you put an undrawn frame next to a drawn frame and alternate them, they'll keep drawing out the one that's already drawn out and make it really wide. And the new one you put in there, they won't mess with it. They'll barely draw it out, kind of like that one you just saw. Here we go. Here's nectar. So it's not all honey, that's good. So I'm expecting right next to this, I'm going to start finding brood frames. A lot of drones on there. And this side's complete honey. So next to pollen, you see brood. Think of your hive as like a ball. The inside of the ball is brood, then pollen, then honey. And it's cross-sectioned by all these frames. This is lighter, so here's going to have what we need. So there's our brood. Uh-oh. That is not good. That's a laying worker or a failed queen pattern. So we got to go all through this and see if we find a queen. I need to look on this frame real good for eggs. Well, that's not good, folks. Oh, wait a minute. I see like very young larvae in here, but I can't tell if there's multiple eggs in there or not. So maybe this queen failed and superseded, and there's one in there laying. So this here, sure enough, is what you don't want to see in your hive. Those are all drone cells, and they're sporadically laid in there, and that's what it will look like when your queen failed. Or you could have had laying workers. Oh, that wasn't good. So what I need to do is I need to check this hive next week, this frame, and see if these larvae I see start forming into drone cells. If they do, it's already gone laying worker, which I suspect that's what's happened. Let's go a little farther. Here's another brood frame. Don't see a queen. There are a bunch of drones in here. So here's some kind of swarm cells, like it may have swarmed at one time. So there are larvae right here, and they're they're giant. So I know they're pulling them out. So I know those are gonna be drones. Pollen. Lots of drones. More pollen. So it looks like we may be using the tiny swarm to combine with this. Now we're just getting into the honey frames again. Oh, there's a queen. I just spotted her at the last second. Where is she? Right there. So it's a queen right hive. So either she has failed or that's a new queen. So I'm going to leave it alone. That's odd that she was over there on that frame. A lot of times I've found failing queens, they're not in the brood chamber. They're off in some strange location. Let's get this put back together and get out of here. Last time I was in this hive, I tried to mark that queen, or a queen, and I had my frame sitting here and she slipped around the back and went down inside, so before I could catch her. So I wonder if that was the same one. Oops, we got the honey super yet. Smoker didn't stay lit very well. This inner cover I have isn't notched, so I have a spacer here that's got the notch in it. Wound up buying the wrong one somehow. I think they were on sale and I was like, ooh, that's a good price. Till I got them and figured out what they were. That's why nobody wants them. Okay, that's it for hive number 9. We need to come back in a week and check on this and make sure we see some worker brood being laid. So, not sure why all the drones. That may be a super seed queen and she's new and she hadn't started laying yet. So, we'll just have to keep an eye on it and hopefully it'll work itself out. Those drones will hatch and leave and that new queen will start doing her thing this fall. So, if you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. If you have any suggestions on what we need to do here, I'm open to suggestions. So subscribe if you haven't, and we'll catch you on the next video. Y'all take care.